Hello, everybody. Welcome to One Drink, a podcast where we talk about one topic for one drink. I'm Matthew.
I'm Ryan.
And we are going back to the 80s again. And we're talking about ALF.
ALF, the alien life form.
Wow. Now, when this came out, as a little kid, you were like, wow, what is this?
Yeah. It was like the Muppets on... All of the Muppets combined into one puppet.
Yeah.
ALF.
And when he started talking, and then he started, like, everything, we were just like, wow. I'm hooked as a little kid. And, you know, even when I bring this up to nowadays, people don't know who ALF, like, they're just like, what are you talking about?
Really? A lot of people just don't know about
it.
it.
Yeah. And I'm like, all right, so it was around. You watched it.
Right.
It was famous. He was big for 4 years.
Yeah.
Specifically 1986 to 1990.
I'd have to say if you're in your 40s, you should know. Maybe like 35 and above, you should know.
No.
Anything under 35, maybe...
It's iffy. Yeah, because my girlfriend, she was like, what's ALF? And I was like...
Oh, you mean like the Will Ferrell movie?
Yeah, exactly.
No.
No. A-L-F. Not E-L-F. So yeah, if you're in your 40s, you know ALF. You see him. You're having flashbacks now. You're like, oh my God. Oh my... Wait. What about the first episode?
The first episode, oh my God. Yeah, this one debuted September 22nd in 1986.
Yep.
I was probably about 7 years old.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 7 years old.
Yep. And they promoted the shit out of this show.
Yeah.
They were like, all right, you know.
Yeah. And it was put on by NBC, which at the time in the 80s, the early 80s, mid 80s, NBC was having a lot of trouble finding their thing. ABC, CBS, you know, they all had their thing.
Yep.
And along with Knight Rider from NBC, they were trying to find their thing. To go up against the Cosby Show, the Juggernauts, you know, the Cosby Show, Family Ties, and all that. So they went ahead with ALF, and the first episode, which is pretty much the pilot episode.
Yep.
The first episode was pretty crazy. It was.
Well, you were just saying that you kind of just watched it.
I watched it last night just to get a refresher.
And I kind of am remembering it, and I was like, is that where they crashed? I remember a crash into a garage, right?
Right, yeah.
And then from there...
Yeah, so Willie Tanner...
The old guy.
The old guy, the dad, yeah. Willie Tanner, Alf, you can't put the cat in the microwave. He's like a ham radio guy.
Yeah.
So he gets all these signals and everything. And he's in his garage. He gets some signals that he doesn't recognize.
Right.
He's like, I think these are from another planet.
What's going on? Oh, my God.
Yeah. And all of a sudden, him and his wife, Kate, they back off, and a spaceship crashes through the roof of the garage.
Right.
And Willie looks up, and he sees a face, which is ALF, coming through a window, and he's just passing out. And Willie's like, fantastic. I think we have a visitor here.
Yes. And so, you know, after, you know, you first see that, you're like, holy, this is what ALF looks like, right?
This is.
And then you're like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Here it is. And so, you know, I got a little synopsis. I always get
Oh, I love the synopsis.
The synopsis.
Like to see what you got. Yeah.
So this is what ALF
Okay.
is supposed to be.
Okay, here we go.
A smart-mouthed creature, ALF.
It's also a drink break for me.
Yes. Take some sips. Crash lands in a suburb garage. His spaceship is beyond repair. Damn it.
Yeah, it's broken.
He's ugly, he's short, he's got a bad attitude.
Bad attitude? He wasn't that bad. He was a little.
Thought he was cool, but
Yeah.
What's a family to do? Why, take in the fruity creature, of course, and watch as he comments on humankind and tries to eat the cat. A delicacy on his home planet of Melmac.
Yes.
So that's where he's from.
Yeah, from Melmac. He's his real name is Gordon Shumway on Melmac. Yeah, on the planet Melmac.
Whoa.
But when he comes to Earth, they don't know that.
Got
so
it.
they just call him alien life form, for short, ALF. Yeah.
ALF.
Yeah.
Cool name, though.
Yeah, and he loves to eat cats.
And so, like, obviously, when you watched all these shows, every episode he does try to eat the cat.
Yeah,
For the most part.
Yeah. He tries to find a way.
And I don't know.
He's like, "Ha!
Yeah.
Hey, Willie, can I put the cat in the microwave? Ha! No, Alf, you can't put the cat in the microwave."
Yeah. So
Willie's just frustrated with him every episode.
I don't know if he. I mean, in the 4 seasons or 5, did he ever eat the cat?
No, he never ate the cat.
Never got it.
The cat's name was Lucky, too. So he was...
Of course.
He was always lucky to get away from Alf.
Oh, that's fantastic. So there's always... So when you get a doll, when you get this popular, I mean...
Right.
It was going up. I mean, they were like, yeah, we found it.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, it was, the merchandising and everything.
And I do believe also at the same time, they did come out with a cartoon, or was there a cartoon?
They did, yes. They came out with a cartoon.
Was it after the show? Or before?
It was during the show. I
During
think it
the
was,
show, right.
1987, the ALF animated series.
Yeah, because I remember watching that.
Yeah,
I was like, okay.
Yeah, it was your Saturday morning thing.
Here goes Elf.
Yeah.
He's gonna have a doll, and he's gonna have this, and he's gonna have that.
Yeah, it came out 1 year after the TV show debuted. So yeah, it was running alongside the television show.
And I mean, you gotta do that while you're hot.
Right.
Just pump it all out.
Just like get on a weeknight, get in Saturday mornings, let's go.
Because like, what was it? We were talking about that had comic books.
Oh, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The Ninja Turtles. They were like movies, cartoons, comics.
They covered all of
Just like, we're going to...
Yeah, they covered all the bases.
And the only cool thing for the Turtles is them suckers are still going.
They're still going.
You know what I mean?
They're still going.
Oh.
Yeah. The new one, we'll talk about that another time. But
yeah. So Elf... got a bunch of fun facts, you know, whatever.
Yeah.
So, the show was a huge hit in Germany, along with David Hasselhoff. I'm sure
We love Alf and David Hasselhoff, yeah.
I don't know how these two became so popular in Germany, but they did.
Maybe it's the hair.
Oh my God! And I'm sure they performed on stage together.
Hey, David!
Come on out, my special guest is Alf!
Ladies and gentlemen, Alf! The puppet.
Oh my God. So, the city limit signs of Germany was stolen so many times that ultimately they had to stock a bunch of them up.
What?
Yeah, so there was a city Elf in Germany.
Oh, okay.
And people were stealing the sign
really?
constantly. Yeah. So they couldn't keep up, so they built like an unlimited amount of Elf signs.
What?
Because people kept stealing the goddamn things.
I did not know that. That's
Yes.
awesome.
And when I seen that, I was just like, oh no.
It's just like when you see a street name with your last name on it, you're like, oh, I gotta grab that sign.
I want to all the time. I've yet to come across the Horst. I mean, if there is one out there,
let us know. Yeah.
But yeah, so
socket set. Yeah, that's crazy.
That's great.
I like that one.
Which one you got? I'm sure you got
Some fun facts. Oh my gosh. So Alf was he was created and voiced by Paul Fusco. Now this guy was a magician, an illusionist, and he was all into the illusion and didn't want people to know that Alf was a puppet. He wanted Alf to be a thing.
Yeah.
He didn't want to be seen. So like Saturday Night Live offered ALF to host the show.
Wow.
And Fusco was like, he turned it down because he said the studio audience would see me and they would know that ALF was
I'm
just
not
a
Alf.
puppet. Yeah.
I think they knew. Or maybe not. I don't know.
Well, I mean, you gotta know. You gotta be like, well, it's probably a puppet. Or some, like a small guy in a suit.
Yeah.
You know.
And speaking of that, though, I did read that there was 2 elf costumes.
There were, yeah.
So if you noticed that there was 2 different ones,
yeah,
it's because there was.
there
right?
was 2. Yeah. There was a rehearsal elf, which they called Ralph.
Yeah.
Rehearsal elf. And he was kind of mangy, like kind of like a weird looking mangy elf.
Yeah.
And then there was the full costume that they used in season 1 only, where they had a actor in a suit.
Yeah.
He was 2'9" tall.
I would love to meet that guy.
You know what? Yeah, right.
I mean, I'm short. I'm shorter than everyone that I know.
Yeah.
But to just meet that guy, I'd be like, you're the man.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, he did it for season 1, and then after season 1, he couldn't take the heat anymore.
Oh,
it was
and
just
that.
like hot. Yeah,
Yeah, especially with the lights.
yeah. With a lot of the actors on the show actually would get frustrated because the set was so hot. It would
Damn.
be like 102 degrees, and they're working
Could you imagine?
12 to 20 hours shifts.
Yeah.
like trying to film the show because it was so hard to move the puppet around and.
And you had to take your time, you know what I mean? You're like,
Yeah, right. Yeah. And the set was built like 4 foot above the ground.
yeah.
So that the puppeteers could be underneath the set, like walking around controlling Alf. Not walking, I guess.
Yeah.
It'd have to be like
It's still weird.
yeah,
though.
yeah,
You know?
right. So like, and a lot of that took time, and there was they would build trap doors into the platform, into the set, so that Alf could pop up through and like do the filming through those. And a lot of the actors and actresses fell through those trap doors.
Oh, shit.
Well, a lot of them got hurt, and they would name the trap doors after the actress or actor that got hurt.
Come on.
Yeah. So it'd be like the Willie door.
Yeah, right. So it must have just, you're like, oh, we got a hit show, but then actually working for the show, you're like, dude, this show sucks.
Yeah,
We're getting hurt.
yeah.
We're up here.
102 degrees for 20 hours?
We're sweating our asses off.
Yeah.
Oh,
it was
my
just
God.
really bad working conditions. And Paul Fusco, like the creator and puppeteer for ALF, was just so self-involved in it that I don't think I would say he didn't care about the other
Right.
actors, but
He was just in it to
He wanted
win.
to do it to perfection. He was a
His way or no
perfectionist.
way. So speaking of ALF being on television, and we're talking about the 80s here, so stuff is getting better, everything is, evolving.
Right, yeah.
So ALF was the first television show to be presented in Dolby surround sound.
The DSS.
So at the time, you felt, I believe, almost like you were at a movie theater.
Yeah, I don't
right?
even know if I had a surround sound television back then.
No, because it was still the square box.
Just, plastic
The tube
speaker on the
TV.
right-hand side. Yeah.
But they rolled this out, and it became big. I remember in the movie theaters though when you went there.
Oh,
they were
yeah. The THX thing would appear, and
Yeah,
it's
they're
like,
like-
oh,
and
now the audience is deaf.
yeah, and they're like, this movie is presented in Dolby surround sound. So yeah, ALF was the first TV show to get that bad boy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
I didn't notice the difference back then.
No, I didn't know. I didn't know
It
that
still
that
sounded
existed.
the same, but
right, yeah.
and who is that? Sony? Dolby surround sound, or is it just
It's
whatever?
just Dolby.
Yeah,
I
okay,
think there's
yeah.
a company called Dolby that would just do
Yeah.
that.
But surround sounds now, are amazing.
Yeah,
I
yeah.
mean, when you get
so good.
TVs and
Subwoofers, just
yeah, dude,
yeah.
it's awesome.
Yeah, it's great. Like having a whole theater set up in your home. Yeah, but there's some other fun facts about Alf. He has
Let's get it.
8 stomachs,
What?
4 teeth, and his heart is located in his right ear.
What?
Oh, yeah.
What the hell, Elf? And he does got the 4 teeth.
He's got 4 teeth, yeah, and 8 stomachs right down here. Ha!
Jeez,
I have 8 cats inside of all of them.
And that's why he was always like trying to eat the cat.
Yeah,
Dude was always hungry.
He's got to fill up 8 stomachs.
All right, so he's got 8 stomachs. I believe he's always hungry, which is cool.
Yeah.
But I had to put this one in here just because it had our podcast name in it.
No, okay.
You know what I mean?
Right.
So, Elf's popular with the children, changed directions of the show, which is why Elf, who had 1 drink, a beer in the first episode, didn't consume any alcohol on screen after the first season.
That's right.
Because they, when they pitched the show, they didn't know what the hell was going to happen with the show.
No, Fusco originally intended for the show to be kind of adult-oriented.
Yeah.
It was prime time.
Which
He wasn't expecting it to turn on to kids,
right?
Like us in the 80s.
I was like,
yeah, we're like,
but back then,
dinner watching Alf. I'm like,
yeah.
what? This
but
is
back
so
then,
awesome.
it was like so common for like parents to drink beer or whatever. But I don't know. I don't know the circumstances of this. Did he have the beer by himself, or did he drink the beer?
Oh, so Alf had he was drinking a Coors
right
at the table with the son.
Oh, the kid.
Yeah, I forget his name.
But the kid wasn't drinking.
No, but I think he had a Coors in front of him too.
Oh, nice.
And they were just talking about their days or whatever.
I had a hard day living here on Earth. Yeah.
Drink up! Ah!
How was your day at school, kindergarten? What grade are you in? DARE program? You heard of it?
You have now! Ah! I'd kill me!
Oh, man.
And so does this beer!
So yeah, I had to mention that just simply for the fact that they said that Alf had 1 beer.
Yeah.
That's kind of cool.
That's a good one. But yeah, the merchandise in the first year.
Oh my God, I can't even imagine.
$250 million in 1987, the first year.
Holy
merchandise,
moly.
dolls, comic books,
Shirts,
stickers,
Trapper Keepers.
Trapper Keepers,
Holy shit.
posters, which, by the way,
Oh my God,
the poster outsold, in 1987, the ALF poster outsold Bon Jovi posters.
No way.
Yeah.
Wow.
Living on a prayer.
So, do you remember this, going to the carnival? The poster game?
Oh, yeah.
They had all the posters.
The
and you had to
posters,
throw
you had
the
to throw
dart.
the dart.
It's very simple to get which one you want.
Yeah, right.
So you're like looking, you're like, Elf, Bon Jovi, and then you're like, Alyssa Milano, or, and then you're like, which one do I go for? You know what I mean?
Yes. Yeah, I'm like, well,
I might as well just go for Elf. And you're trying to impress whoever you're with.
You're not going for Bon Jovi.
And then you see Kiss over there in the corner, and then a Corvette or Knight Rider, and then you see fucking...
You don't want to get smacked by your big brother when you hang up a Bon Jovi poster on your wall. You're like, what are you doing?
Oh, man, that's so funny. I can't believe, though, the poster, though.
Yeah. Dude, the posters, there wasn't an Alf cereal. That's another thing Fusco turned down was cereal.
Oh, well, that's
It's
probably
supposed to be
a good
like
thing.
Alphos or something.
Yeah.
Something
Thank
silly.
God he did that.
What would that be, like cat food?
Yeah, right. Most likely.
But the merchandise, the Alf ball or the Alf doll sold 85 million in 1 year.
God damn, dude.
85 million of that 250 million was just from the Alf.
Yeah. And this is the thing. Whenever we do these 80s shows, we always mention the merchandise and everything that goes along with it because it made an astronomical amount of money.
And when you compare it to inflation today, I think 250 million is like 700 million now.
That's what I'm saying. So it's like, if it was a new phenomenon nowadays, like it would. We're talking millions, right? Now we're going to be talking like almost close to $1 billion if it's like a huge hit.
Billions of dollars, so many dollars, billions of dollars, a tremendous amount of dollars that this little elf did. He had so many dolls. He sold so many dolls.
Oh my God! Could you? I mean, it's just crazy. But we always have to mention it because it's part of what happened in the 80s.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
you always got to go into that merchandising.
Because it was
the 80s was full of merchandising.
That's all.
Not so much now. Like when you think about it, like in the 2020s, even like the 2010s eras.
Yeah.
Merchandising kind of doesn't exist.
No, because
it does. I mean, you got your like Pokemon and like you got that age range of like 4 to like maybe 10-year-olds that care about like buying action figures and toys and stuff like that. But after that, it's like nah.
But I mean, even look at it now. Toy stores.
Right, they're all gone.
They're gone.
They're gone.
80s, there was KB Toy Store, Child World, any
Kitty City, Toys R Us,
and they were huge.
Huge. And it was so big that like even going grocery shopping with my mom, it was like, I'm going over to Toys R Us to go grocery shopping. And I'm just going to go look at the toys. I know I probably can't get something, but I just want to look at this.
And just be a part of it. And that's what's so sad now is there's no toy stores.
No,
in the 80s, it was just merchandise.
Everything was merchandise.
And I'm telling you, I do believe that ALF had a card, Topps, the baseball card company.
Yeah.
They made a series of ALF cards.
They made ALF cards from the show, and they made them from, I think it was...
the comic or something?
It was from the animated series. It was called, like, Booyah Baseball. Mm-hmm. And they were Booyah Baseball cards featuring, like, baseball cards
players
from his Melmac baseball league.
I knew there was something because I was like, I used to collect cards.
Yeah.
And I would get garbage pail cards and football. But then I was like, at the store, I seen it out and I was like, I don't know. But I should have got a pack.
Oh, absolutely. Dude, I would get all the cards.
Damn.
Dude. Yeah, the merchandising for the 80s is super insane.
Oh, that's how they made all their money.
Yeah.
But it's great to hear, though. You know what I mean? Because it's like, we're talking $80 million on a fucking poster.
It was the dollar.
Or the doll.
$85 million in 1 year.
And right here.
This is it.
He's part of it.
Huh. Yeah.
It's fantastic.
I think this is the talking ALF, but it doesn't work anymore. I wish it did.
Oh, man.
But yeah, it's pretty insane.
So yeah.
Cat hair on his hand. He must have just grabbed a cat.
He must have ate a cat. Did he eat my cat? I hope so.
Well,
I mean, I hope not.
So yeah, there's a dark side to the elf.
Oh, let's hear it. See, there's always good, but there's always bad.
Yeah,
and we like to be a positive show, but we gotta let the people know the bad side as well.
Yeah, the dark side of ALF is like what we talked about earlier, was just like how the actors and actresses were just miserable filming this show in 102 degrees, just like for 12 to 20 hours. There was one moment, and this is kind of rumored, not confirmed.
Okay.
Where Willie chokes ALF on the set.
That's fantastic. It's got to be true.
Willie, I can't remember the actor's name, but it was Max something. But he was a theater actor. Like, he was super sophisticated,
super smart,
just like theater actor. And now he's subjugated down to like talking to this puppet.
Yeah.
And
I'm not supposed to be doing this.
Yeah, I should be doing something else other than this right now. I should be doing Shakespeare. But he would just get so frustrated with Paul Fusco, who controlled and puppeteered ALF, and because Alf would just go off on like tangents,
Yeah.
joking around.
Time is money, bitch.
Yeah, he would like, just joke around like, and Willie's just trying to get through like all the takes.
Yeah.
And he would get so frustrated with that. I guess one time he just reached over and just fucking
The puppet or the...
choked Alf, the puppet.
Yeah.
Choked the puppet. You'd have to go underground like 4 feet to go choke that guy and just start stomping him.
Now, if that was me, I would have just been like this. I can't take it no more.
Shut it down. And apparently, after the last episode was filmed, the infamous last episode.
All out brawl, tell me.
Yeah, Willie just walked off stage and went into his dressing room, grabbed his stuff,
And that was
got
it.
into his car and took off without saying goodbye to anybody
Man.
else on the cast, and was just like, "This is done. I'm done.
Yeah.
I'm out of here."
And it's funny, too, because I think about that, like, everything on camera is always so sweet. Everything on social media is always so...
Right? Yeah. It seems like you're watching it. They're like getting along. You're like, "Oh, this is
Yeah,
great."
but behind the scenes and first, even movies or shows or now podcasts or
Right.
anything, I wonder how many things like are just
You just want to see the dirty.
terribly wrong. You know what I mean? Like, there's behind the scenes footage of everything. You know, I delete all of ours. Doesn't exist, but
There's nothing to see there.
well, yeah, there's nothing exciting to see or else, you know. But I'm saying for these other major, you know, popular shows,
Right? Yeah. Yeah.
you know, the fights and the don't get along with that.
Confrontations.
But then when they're like on the red carpet, they're like, "Oh my God, I love this guy!
Oh, this is a great show.
Fantastic!
So awesome.
Alf's the best. Never
Ah.
choked him." You know, it's just like
I know.
it's so funny.
Yeah. That.
The facade of social media.
Oh, yeah. I guess.
It's
yeah.
kind of phony. You know
yeah.
what I mean?
It plays.
Unless
a
you
big
just
part.
are, you know, pumping out shit like we do. And
Yeah.
which is
Right. Yeah.
Awesome.
Well, yeah. That last episode. Did you see the last episode?
I
Do you
did
remember
not.
it? So this is like one of the most infamous like cliffhangers in history of television.
Actually, now, yes, I did see it. Sorry.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah.
So, so in the beginning of the show, Alf crash lands onto Earth.
Yeah.
After his planet Melmac blows up,
Melmac.
and the last episode is Alf. He's in the same garage and playing with Willie's like ham radio equipment.
Yeah,
and
yeah.
he gets a signal from Melmac, and he's like, "Oh my God, this is a signal from Melmac."
I got to go back, right?
Yeah, and he's like, "Well, I have to make a choice here." Like,
Yeah.
he's like, "I could stay here on Earth where it's great, or I could go back to Melmac." And the family's like, "No, go back. Because we're kind of sick of you here." And not just
We don't
Alf,
wanna
but the puppeteer is like, "We want to be done with this show."
We hate everyone back here, buddy.
Yeah. So Alf gets a signal from Melmac, and they're coming to pick him up. And he signals back. He's like, "Yeah, I want to go back." And they tell Alf to meet him in this big, like, open field. And in the meantime, the alien, what is it called? I can't remember what the name is, but it was like an alien task force or something like that.
Okay.
They intercept the signal, and they're like, "Oh, we found the alien. Let's go to this spot because this is where he's getting picked up."
Yeah.
And, grab this alien. So the Tanners drive Alf to this open field. In the meantime, the alien task force is coming in to intercept everything. In the meantime, the Melmac spaceship is coming down. It's like a three-way thing. And
What's going to happen?
yeah. So the Tanners drop off Alf. Alf's got his trench coat on. He's got his suitcases all ready and packed. The UFO or whatever, the spaceship comes down, and Alf is ready to get beamed up or whatever. And all of a sudden, the task force comes in their SUVs,
Ooh.
and that scares away the spaceship. The spaceship's like, "Nope, we're out of here. leaves Alf on planet Earth. The alien task force tells the Tanners to like back off. They're like, nope, we got them. Back off or you're like going to be under arrest.
He's ours.
And the Tanners like, okay, glad we're done with this show. Thank God, no more 20-hour days on 102.
They're just like this.
Yeah. They're like, take him, please. Take him. I don't want to deal with this puppet anymore. And yeah, and that was the cliffhanger. That was it. It was kind of a standoff between the Tanners and the alien task force and the spaceship taking off. He's like,
so were they hoping for like, all right, now there's a, what do we do now?
yeah, it was going to be a two-part final episode, but they never got to do the two-part final episode because it got canceled.
They were like, all right, we've had enough of Alf.
Yeah, they didn't bring it back. It was it got canceled, which is another fun fact. It got canceled for The Fresh Prince of Bel-Air.
Oh,
come in. Another like out of place character coming into a home where he just doesn't quite belong, and like he's coming into his rich uncle's house, and
one of the most famous theme songs ever.
Oh my God, it's so good.
Dun, 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 dun. Oh God. Yeah. And I mean that.
I pulled up to the house around 7 or 8 and I yelled to the cabby, "Yo home, smell you later."
Oh my God.
But yeah, so Alf was no longer on television until later on in like 2000 maybe, or 1996 he
came back a little.
They tried
bit,
to come
right?
back with like an Alf talk show with
didn't.
Ed McMahon from the Tonight Show. It was supposed to be like a Johnny Carson Tonight Show kind of stage.
I can't believe he even signed on for
I
that.
know Ed McMahon was like, "Yes, I'll do it."
How much you paying me?
92.
Okay, yeah. I mean, fuck, I'll talk to whoever.
Yeah, he was. It was in 2004. It was 7 episodes. The Elf hit talk show, it was called, or something like that.
That had to have been just horrible.
7 episodes. That's all it lasted. They had like Drew Carey on, Tom Green.
I mean, they got all the at the time. Well, they were upcoming actors too, so they're like,
yeah,
I'll be on that, bitch.
Yeah.
Shit.
And there's plenty of attempts to like bring Elf back after that in like 2018, and just kind of failed. And 2022, there's like rumors of him coming back again, but it's like, I don't know. I think we're
gonna keep Elf in the 80s.
We're gonna keep him in the 80s.
We're gonna specifically keep him from 1986 to 1990.
Right. Yeah.
We're gonna remember him for the times that he gave us as children, and just go from there, right?
Yeah.
I mean,
it's Elf was Elf in the
That's
80s. That's how we got to remember him.
thanks, buddy.
Thank you so much. You're welcome.
See? So, yes, that is our 80s show about Elf.
Ah!
If you have any memories or anything to say about Elf, comment below, message us, let us know.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Let us know. Just,
It's, I mean,
if you have any Elf memories at all.
and you do. And if you're young, now you know who Elf is. This bad boy.
Yeah. And this is actually my 5-year-old son's Elf doll. So even if you're 5 and you're watching this show, gotta give this back to him.
So yeah, he was $7.99 in 1980, but he is part of that $85 million barrage.
That merchandise.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So yes, that is our show.
Yeah, and if you happen to make it back to the 80s, just tell them that One Drink Podcast sent you.
Please.
And share it with somebody back in the 80s. That would be fun.
That would be fantastic.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's not hard to do.
No, not at all. No.
Until next show. See ya.
Bye.